Coming up in this video, I take a look at the underrated Body Snatchers movie from 1993.
Where are you gonna go?
Where are you gonna run?
Where are you gonna hide?
Nowhere, 'cause there's no one left like you. Hello there and welcome to the Enigmatic Productions channel. I'm your host Harvey Retro, and today I'll be reviewing my favourite adaptation of Jack Finney's novel Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The 1993 movie titled Body Snatchers is definitely an overlooked entry in the series. The 1978 movie starring Donald Sutherland is considered the best by pretty much everyone, so I considered this version a guilty pleasure for years. I thought to myself, am I the only person that likes this movie? So I did a little research, talked to a few people, and you know what? There are people that absolutely love this movie like me. No, I can't say none other. None other than Roger Ebert himself considered this version superior to both adaptations that came before. Ebert praised it for its psychological realism and social criticism and stated, as sheer movie making, it's skilled, knowing, and deserves the highest praise you can give a horror film. It works. Don't get me wrong, I like the 56 version, I like the 78 version, but do they really get under my skin and really creep me out? No, probably not. This version really does get under my skin every single time. Isn't that the main goal of a horror movie? Like Ebert says, it works. As simple as that. So what makes it so special, I hear you ask? The movie is set in a military base and has a cold, underlining prison-like atmosphere throughout. There's almost zero comfort in this film. You feel a sense of isolation and creeping dread at all times. Our protagonist is a teenager named Marty Malone. Sounds like a detective from the 50s. She's played by Gabrielle Anwar, who delivers a pretty charismatic performance as our heroine, but for me it's definitely the mother character, Carol Malone, played by Meg Tilly, that steals every scene she's in. The big "where you gonna go" quotable moment from Tilly is definitely a terrifying scene, and it is the catalyst for unleashing the terror of the final act.
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna run? Where are you gonna hide? Nowhere, because there's no one like you left.
So Steve, the scientist and father of the Malone family, is an agent for the Environmental Protection Agency and is sent to the base in Alabama to test possible effects on the surrounding ecological system caused by military action. Throughout the early stages of the film, Marty, Steve and the youngest son of the Malone family, Andy, encounter characters or situations that act as a warning that something ain't right.
They get you when you sleep. They get you when you sleep, you hear?
My favourite is when little Andy is in class at school and all the kids hold up their paintings that they have done, and every kid has an identical painting. Andy is the only one that has something different. This scene is a perfect tone setter and creeps you out early on. A lot of people can relate to that kind of fear, starting school and feeling like you don't fit in. This scene taps into that and is like a nightmarish version of that scenario.
I hate that place.
What happened?
They all had the same pictures.
Enjoying this video? Show your support by hitting that thumbs up, subscribe and notification bell. For daily movie, music and gaming nostalgia, follow me over on Instagram. We meet a few supporting characters along the way, like the friend and the love interest of Marty, which are simply there to add a little fun and romance into this bleak world. But as I mentioned earlier, the strongest performance is by Meg Tilly playing the mother, Carol. Now she is Steve's... There's a lot of Sean Connery in there. Now she is Steve's second wife, so there's already an element of she's replaced mom there to begin with before she was replaced by the alien replica. Which again, like the classroom scene, is a relatable reflection of society amplified into horror fiction. These are the kind of things I assume Ebert was talking about with his psychological realism statement.
She's not Mommy, Marty.
She is your mommy. She loves you a lot.
My mommy died.
What's interesting is that Carol is Andy's mother, not Marty's, but it's Andy that makes the claims that she's not his mother. It is believable behaviour and seems like something he would have imitated from Marty's lack of connection with her stepmother. This film was criticised by some people for not developing its characters enough, but I would disagree and say that the characters are more like real people than most movies, and a good performance goes a long way. So the actors and Abel Ferrara directing worked very well in crafting that realism, in my opinion. Another thing I have to mention is the look of the film. When you're watching it, knowing it's a straight-to-video production in the early 90s, you'd expect it to have almost a TV movie look to it. But it actually looks incredibly cinematic and beautifully shot by cinematographer Bojan Bazelli. Bojan Bazelli is a very talented director of photography. He's won awards for films like California and A Cure for Wellness, and also my personal favourite, G-Force.
I'm pretty sure this is animal cruelty. But I love it!
He definitely knows how to create a striking, memorable image. The movie was the first film to use Arioscope anamorphic lenses. This is a very wide, unique CinemaScope lens. Lenses like this create an image that makes you think of classic cinema, which is why it's so sad that it was made to look grand on a cinema screen, but Warner Brothers never really gave it a chance and it grossed $428K against a $13 million budget. If any of you have seen these reviews before, you'll know that I review films on a VHS 4:3 format. This is one of the few times where I wish people had not seen it like this and had seen it like this. Another interesting thing that the movie did the others' versions didn't is show the replacement process in an incredibly disturbing sexualized way that evokes rape. Something that reminded me of the 1975 Cronenberg parasite horror Shivers. So to conclude this review, the movie is a well-crafted horror film that not enough people saw due to lack of faith from the studio. It was a bit too serious and gritty at a time when Warner Brothers were more interested in backing a more comedic horror, Innocent Blood. It's a real shame because it's a horror movie I've never forgotten, and its poster is right up there with the best of them. It's iconic, but this film never got a chance to be iconic. It deserved that. So that's what I think. What do you guys think? I reached out on Instagram and a few people got back to me on their opinion. Right, first up we've got Tommy D. Writer. He's an award-winning screenwriter and a good friend of mine. He says, let's have a look at his message. So he goes the 78 one, 90s, then the 50s one. He hated the 2000 version. And he says, but it's totally underrated and a forgotten gem. A straight-to-video classic, very creepy. Okay, thank you for that one. Who else have we got? So, RH Magic is my best friend, one of my best friends. I've known him since I was like this big. This is Rob, and he says, I can remember this underrated classic well, especially the VHS cover. Ah man, where do I start with this? Firstly, I'd like this much more than the 78 Donald Sutherland one. Okay, interesting. He goes on to say, I remember the pure lack of emotion from each of the victims that had been duplicated. Anything involving beds in horror movies as a kid really messed with my head, particularly the worm scene in Poltergeist 2. Ooh, yes. Oh. I can recall a scene in this movie where the father is being assimilated on the bed and there's some kind of mutant mess coming out from under it. Really stayed with me, that. I can remember it very well. I can recall thinking, Christ, this little boy who grows up seeing all this happening to his family is going to need some serious help. All in all, a special place in my heart as a horror fan, as this would have been one of the first horror films I can remember watching all the way through. Interesting. Nice long comment. Thank you for that, Rob. I've got another one here from Game Raider 7. He says, I saw it when I was very young, scared the crap out of me. Need to give it a rewatch now. Yes, you do. And Thai Action Rocks. Wasn't bad, could have been better. You know what? Sod ya. Thai Action Rocks. He's a great guy, but his opinion, his favourite film is Punisher 1989, so I'll leave that with you.
Now let me tell you something about this Punisher.
So that's all the Instagram responses. I'm going to be doing that more often, so if you're not following me on Instagram, I'm at Harvey_retro, and I will be posting like in a story or in a post of like asking the question, have you seen this? And so just drop a comment or reply to the story, tell me what you think. What do you guys think watching on YouTube? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you soon. Right, thanks for watching guys. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like. If you want to see more from us, hit that subscribe. See you next time on Enigmatic Productions.